Hi. Some of the greatest prog bands in the UK are, of course, the Beatles from 1966 onwards until the end, until early 1970. Some of the work that Cream did, apart from the blues crackling, the rest of it is prog. Like, for example, Tales of Brave Ulysses, or White Room. They have some of the solo work by Eric Clapton, and then you have most of what Deep Purple did in the 1970s, mainly. David Coverdale and Glenn Hughes period was very prog. For example, Burn or Stormbringer, that was prog. Some of the Black Sabbath, the early 1970s Black Sabbath is prog. For example, Spiral Architect, some of the Rainbow. Some of what Rainbow did is progressive, not all of it, but some of it. For example, Catch the Rainbow, Temple of the King. Nectar, an Anglo-German band, was prog. Didn't sell well. Kaleidoscope, UK, it didn't sell well. It was a good band, but it didn't sell well. The UK, and then we have, of course, Jethro Tull, Ian Anderson's Jethro Tull. Most of it is progressive or folky, a bit folky, prog. For example, Broadsword and the Beast, Pussy Willow, Budapest, some of the early stuff, Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die, Songs from the Wood, of course, amazing stuff. Jethro Tull, and then we have, of course, most of what Pink Floyd did in the 70s, late 60s, 70s, 80s. Another prog band, ELP, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Most of what they did was prog, of course. Like C'est La Vie, Asia. Most of what Asia did from 1982 to 1985. The 3 classical albums plus a couple of singles, including, for example, Only Time Will Tell, Go. That's prog. Some of David Coverdale's solo work is prog, for example, like Last Note of Freedom. Some of Whitesnake. Mainly what Mike Oldfield did in the 1980s, when he actually had lyrics to songs, and he had singers like Barry Palmer or John Anderson singing, like in High Places or Shine, or we have some of the work by Christa Berg, some of the work by Chris Rea, like Looking for the Summer, or Auf Peterson, the German song, Little Plain Flats. Christa Berg, the not very well known folk band Magna Carta, Pentacle, and the Incredible String Band. It didn't sell well, of course, because it was a folk band, it wasn't a commercial band. Psychedelic folk scene. The Amazing Blondell didn't sell well, of course, because it was again a folk scene. The Strawbs didn't sell very well. The Strawb was a mix of psychedelia, prog, folk, traditional. The Strawbs, amazing stuff. The Lady of the Lake, or Lady Fusia. Barclay James Harvest, prog, an amazing prog band. The song they love to sing, Galadriel, or all these amazing things. John Lees and Les Wilroyd, all these amazing songs. The Who, Roger Daltrey and Peter Townsend, they did all this amazing stuff in the 60s, 70s, 80s, up till now. Happy Jack or Tommy, and some of the solo stuff they did. Roger Daltrey's solo career. Again, then we have Supertramp. Most of what Supertramp did up until 1982, when Roger Hodgson was still in the band. Like Breakfast in America, or the other songs. Maybe I'm a Beggar. The first album was really amazing. Maybe I'm a Beggar, Maybe I'm a Fool. Most of the solo stuff by George Harrison and John Lennon is again prog. Losing You, Watching the Wheels, or Harrison's Wonderwall album with Singing On, or Isn't It a Pity, right, or Cloud 9, or then we go on to ELO, some amazing stuff, Letter from Spain, or Los Vacudas, and then we have solo stuff by Glenn Hughes, Trapeze, and then we have some of the work by Led Zeppelin. Not all of it, but some of it, like Immigrant Song or Kashmir. Amazing stuff. The solo career by Robert Plant. And we have Moody Blues, of course. Moody Blues. And it's not only Nights in White Satin and other amazing songs. There are songs that are far better than Nights in White Satin. And then we go on to then we go on to Renaissance, the two Renaissances. The Renaissance when it was Keith Relf and his sister Jane, and then Annie Haslam, the other guys. Mother Russia was a great song. I Think of You. What about the Yardbirds? The Yardbirds with Keith Relf or Jimmy Page and Cruceria. Jim McCarthy, Shapes of Things to Come, and For Your Love. It's amazing stuff, all this amazing stuff, incredible. What about the Hollies? The Hollies, with Graham Nash and Alan Clark and the other guys. All this amazing stuff, King Midas in reverse, After the Fox, amazing stuff. The solo stuff that Graham Nash did, his contributions to Crosby, Stills and Nash. Supertramp, ELP, Bryan Ferry. What about Bryan Ferry's solo stuff? Amazing stuff. Don't Stop to Dance, and some of Roxy Music, most of the later Roxy Music stuff. Avalon is prog, secular prog. What else? And then we have Marian Faithfull, of course, beautiful Marian Faithfull, who did all this amazing stuff. And we have some of Dire Straits and Mark Knopfler's solo career, amazing stuff. have some of Manfred Mann's stuff, and more recent years Blur did some amazing stuff. Coldplay did some amazing songs like Clocks. Blur did some amazing stuff like To the End. We have other amazing singers like Sandy Shaw did some good stuff, like Puppet and String. Matt Monro did some nice romantic songs. Then of course we have Spooky Tooth with Mike Harrison, and Gary Wright, who was actually an American, who was half British band. Some amazing stuff in it. And then we have Fleetwood Mac, which was again half American, half Brit band. And of course we have the early days with The Man Who Sold the World with Peter Green, and then we've got we have Christy McVie, who did some amazing songs in the 70s, 80s. Again, it was a mixed band. Fleetwood Mac was a mixed band. Then of course we go on to Yes. Most of Yes was amazing. The solo career by Rick Wakeman, John Anderson, Steve Howe. Most of what they did was amazing. Then we have Steve Harley, who did Sebastian, of course, Death Trip, Muriel the Actress, of course, amazing stuff. He did a good version of Harrison's Here Comes the Sun. Steve Harley, Cockney Rebels, Alan Parsons, some amazing stuff like The Raven, or Gaudi's La Sagrada Familia, the 1987 tribute to the Spanish architect Antoni Gaudi. They did the work they did. Nectar, Wishbone Ash did some good songs. They did some good songs like Persephone, Warrior, Lorelei. Lorelei was a great song. Martin Turner. And they split up. Martin Turner split up with the other guy, the bald guy. What's the music? And then we of course have Divine Comedy, the new stuff, Divine Comedy with Neil Hannon, some amazing stuff, like Count Grassie's, the Count Grassie's Climb, or Everyone Knows, and other stuff, amazing stuff. Some of Ozzy Osbourne's solo career was good too, like I'm So Tired. Mr. Crowley was the wackiest band of all, the meanest, wackiest band that came out of the UK. Britain is of course Hawkwind. Yeah, of course, Hawkwind. And this is space rock. I mean, when you listen to it, you start travelling. You listen to D. Rider, or Space is Deep, or Silver Machine, and other great songs. I mean, you start travelling to another universe. Hawkwind, amazing stuff, really amazing stuff. Some of it's really hard to get by, hard to find. And of course we have Richard Blackmore, who collaborated with his American wife, and they did Renaissance music, Blackmore's Night. And Paul McCartney did some great solo stuff too. For example, Indian The Loop on the Moon. Now that is a psychedelic song. And some other stuff like Pipes of Peace. And of course we've got David Bowie, who did some crap in 1975 and in the late 80s did some, but in his proper years, I mean, David Bowie did some amazing stuff, like the first album, Love You Till Tuesday, When I Live My Dream, this early stuff, and he was only like about 19 years old, 1967, 66, when he did these amazing songs. And of course Space Oddity and Starman and 5 Years and 1984 and Brother. And then he did all this amazing stuff with Low, Warsaw, Beauty and the Beast, Ashes to Ashes, amazing stuff like Criminal World, China Girl, in the early 80s. And I've got a rare copy of the LP Baal, which has not been, I've got a rare LP of Baal, which has not been released as yet on CD. It's only got about 5 songs on it, Baal, from 1982, the LP. Now that is rare. Now it's a rare possession. When you have Baal from LP, and it doesn't even appear on CD as yet. David Bowie did the great stuff, like from 1966 to 1974, and from 1976, apart from that Young Americans crap, 76 up until the early 80s, he did all this amazing stuff, like Warsaw, like Yassassin, like Aladdin Sane, or Lady Grinning Soul. Amazing stuff, and he was very beautiful. Yardbirds, Herman Hermits did some amazing stuff too, but they didn't last long. In the early days, the Rolling Stones did some amazing stuff, like We Love You, or Her Satanic Majesty's Request. Amazing stuff. Street Fighting Man, Give Me Shelter, and then they started doing all this mainstream blues and pop and punk rock and all that crap. But in the early days, it did all this amazing stuff. Who else in the UK? Black Sabbath's Spiral Architect. Now that was a masterpiece. Spiral Architect. Or Looking for Today. Wheels of Confusion, with Tony Iommi on guitar, of course. And then we have Tony Ashton, who did some great stuff with Warhorse, and he collaborated with Rick Wakeman. Now Rick Wakeman's 1984. Now that was an amazing album. And the other one he did with Damian Wilson, the symphonic rock, the other symphonic rock album he did. Strobes, and of course the greatest band of all, Genesis, with Peter Gabriel. Some of Peter Gabriel's solo career, some of Steve Hackett's solo stuff is amazing too. Now Genesis, and in the early days with Phil Collins, it was amazing. Well, later they started more mainstream with Phil Collins, but in the early days there was not much of a difference between masterpieces that Peter Gabriel did and Phil Collins did. Now Watches of the Sky, what an amazing song. Trick of the Tail, in the early days with Phil Collins. Supper's Ready, Cinema Show, all this amazing stuff. And Peter Gabriel's solo career. Like Shot the Monkey or Red Rain. Amazing stuff. And there's various collaborations with other artists. Peter Gabriel, Steve Hackett,